It was in 2001 that a whirling dervish, a cyclone, an F5 funnel cloud of combative spirit spun into the Carolina Panther team. And it was personal to Steve. He made, somehow or another, he made every article, every comment, every defensive back, every drill, every game, every moment at every practice personal. And over the course of his career, as his legend grew and that indomitable spirit, a lot of NFL DBs didn't sleep much the night before the game, and nobody really wanted a piece of Steve Smith. From 2001 to 2013, 5 Pro Bowls, 1,031 receptions, over 14,000 receiving yards, 81 receiving touchdowns, and 6 receiving game touchdowns. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the video screens.
I love playing here so much that this is my home. It's also a community that I'm invested in. I think more of they've invested in me as well. So it's just an honor to be a part of it. And also the guys that I'm going in with. It's pretty cool. The relationship I have mainly obviously with Jake and Jordan, but also looking up to Wesley as well. If I can go in with some guys, those are the guys I go in with.
DeLone, face back. DeLone throws. Caught. Steve Smith over the middle. 35. Smith breaks free. Smith at the 20 may go. 10, 5. Touchdown, Carolina Panthers.
Being part of it in one of the first groups was pretty cool.
Blitz again coming. DeLone pumps. He's got time. Throws downfield. Smith at the 45 to the 40.
It's
breaks
over.
free.
It's
20,
over.
10, 5. Touchdown! Woo! Touchdown, Steve Smith!
I had a dream when I was a young boy to play ball. And everything I did, I thought I was doing to get me closer and closer to play ball. And I sit back and I was.
The rookie on his first touch as a professional, all the way for a touchdown.
Nothing's better than running out of that stadium and a kid from Los Angeles, or I like to call myself a knucklehead from LA. And you get to walk into a stadium, first of all, the last one out, and people are wearing your jersey or the jersey with your number and name on it.
Steve Smith is going to score 10-5. It's a touchdown.
Am I proud of it? I'm shocked by it.
It's a fake to the right and throw long downfield to the left. Steve Smith. Smith is there. Smith's got a touchdown. Wow. Carolina Panthers.
Wow.
Marty Herney, please come up to the podium as we help welcome the best football player ever to wear the colors, the incomparable number 89, Steve Smith.
If I'm being honest, I didn't want this day to happen. Because people would see my vulnerableness. And I struggle with that because of the way I grew up. Grew up dirt poor. I'm not supposed to be here. And so it's a blessing to be alive. And it was cool as I was seeing some of those plays because a lot of things were going on in my life. The first touchdown I made was on a Sunday. My wide receivers coach was Mike McCoy. And my only little girl was born, BJ. And Mike called me after we dropped off Peyton, our firstborn, at Mike and Kelly's house. They watched Peyton. And Mike called me 3 hours after our daughter was born to ask me, am I coming to practice? And I was thinking, I don't play wide receiver. Why do I need to be at practice? But I was at practice. And why is that important is, as the plays were going on, every part of my family was a part of that. My touchdown against the Chicago Bears, Peyton, our firstborn, he thought of it. He said, Dad, snuggle up like a bear or go down the field goal post like it's a fire pole. All the little things on there, my family has something to do with it. Everybody that's at our table, Mike and Eldra Bunkley, he always was diligent in pursuing me about this thing called God. And it was awesome. Because he loved me even though I rejected him, he always stayed diligent. Derek Fox, my agent, my football agent, now my friend, because I don't play football anymore. I remember when I re-signed here, me and Derek we were in the Marriott in San Diego with a piece of paper, because I'm a paper guy, and we structured out my contract. And we flew home early because I didn't believe I was going to re-sign here, so we flew home early to sign the contract. And it was snowing. And so all the NASCAR racers, all their cars were in the ditch of the snow. And my broadcasting agent, Kristen, and her husband, Evans, been remarkable that a guy like myself is able to do television. She believed in me. And then Gerard Littlejohn and his mother, one of my closest friends and business partner. It's been remarkable. And then last but not least, Mace Booncool, my wife. Her maiden name was Conley, and so Angie, so I call her my ace. She's been with me. This Monday will be 19 years of marriage, and she's been with me for a very long time. She's dealt with a lot, the life of a football player, of just the anxiety and all that stuff, and she's kept me grounded, and I love you. And be here without you. And I love the opportunity to come back. Thank God Marty didn't cut me. But there was a guy that cut me. And to be honest, I'm glad he cut me, because it gave me an opportunity to learn a lot of different things about myself. And if I'm being honest, I never would have thought this day would come. I didn't plan on ever coming back to Carolina as a football player. I thought I'd just go back in the community and continue to invest in a community that's investing in me. But Mr. Tepper, and also I want to thank Mr. Richardson, because I think it's important. Mr. Richardson and then Mark and Rosalind, they loved on me for a very long time. And I'm getting to know Mr. Tepper. He's a great man. But Mr. Richardson fired George Seifert and hired Marty as calling all the shots. And when I got drafted here, they drafted me in the 3rd round, but they drafted Chris Winkie in the 4th. And they gave Chris Winkie as a 4th-round pick a higher signing bonus than me. And I know this is a shocker, but I was pissed. And I looked at Marty and I said, if you don't sign me and take care of me as a rookie, it's going to be your biggest mistake, because I'm going to be the best player that ever played here. And Marty looked at me. He was like, who's this guy? I've always wanted to tell you I appreciate you taking a chance on a knucklehead from LA because it means the world to me. And part of them bringing you back helped me come back. I never thought I'd wear blue again because red's my favorite color anyway. But I love what you guys are doing, and I'm happy to be back. A guy that I always, when I was in the huddle, he was always the left tackle, number 69. And in my office, he gave me a picture of me and you in the Super Bowl. You don't understand how much I cherish that picture. I love you, Jordan. And Jake, a lot of stories were said about me and Jake, but one of the coolest things is when Jake was in trouble, he always threw me the ball. But one of the things I always struggled with in my career that a lot of men don't know is I never wanted to let you guys down. That's why I didn't love the game. I love the men. And I love beating up other men for my teammates. And it was always cool in a run play. They go to our side, and me, Jordan, and Piggy, and Travell, Mangum, Moose, and we would just go to town on guys. And it was remarkable. But I always loved it. Me, Jake be in the huddle, and Jake say, what you want? I say, well, what can you throw? And every time I said that, then he'd give me a dirty look, and then he'd call me a word, not a nice word, and say, well, are you going to run at the right depth? And then Piggy, Jeff Handgardner's Piggy, or Jordan, they would say, well, do you guys need a room? You guys want us to leave? And so they always got on us. But I love playing with Jordan. I didn't get the opportunity to play with Wesley, but I remember in training camp, I came from a number system. I really didn't understand the West Coast. It was very complicated coming from a number system to the West Coast. And why is the West Coast? One word meant everything. I struggled with one word is telling everybody something, coming from a number system. And we had this play called Why Sail. Now I'm looking at Wesley. You got to understand, I played at Utah. So it's not a lot of Caucasian tight ends that are fast. So I'm looking at Wesley, and Wesley, hey, this is my play now. Wesley, go on, get out the way. I'm looking at Wesley like, I can run. I'm not sure you can. Well, I found out very quickly, get the hell out of Wesley's way. And what that taught me was there's a lot of older men out here that could teach you some things. And I learned very quickly. And then there's a guy who isn't here who taught me a lot. Richard Williamson, my wide receivers coach. After Mike started coaching quarterbacks. And Richard taught me a lot. He challenged me. He made me think. And I remember one time I was a rookie. We were in rookie camp, and Richard tells me if you keep playing like that, you will be bagging groceries at Food Lion. Now, I'm from the West Coast. I have no idea what a Food Lion is. And I asked him, well, what's a Food Lion? He was like, well, if you keep it up, you'll find out real quick. And I hated Richard probably for the first 3 years. He just talked down to me. He challenged me, but he made me better. And his wife, Norma, couldn't be here, but I appreciated Richard. But really, the example that Richard showed me is exactly what Charlotte is all about. It's about a lot of people who love on you no matter if you love them back, no matter if you want to be taught. And the best thing about living here is when I got drafted, when I say I'm poor, before I went to college, I've been on an airplane one time. I'd never really been anywhere. We didn't know how hot North Carolina was, and Angie was pregnant with our daughter, and we found out very quickly. And she found out very quickly. And to go down to Spartanburg, and now my son, my oldest, Peyton, my firstborn, God willing, this spring, he'll be graduating from Wofford. So it's all full circle. But one of the biggest things, though, is for me, is I never thought I'd be here. And a lot of people in this room helped me get up here. And I'm not going to take credit and say it was what I know I did something. A lot of times I didn't even listen when I was supposed to. But without you guys, I wouldn't be here. And so I want to tell you thank you. And there's a story that I heard a couple of months ago. And it goes like this. It says in the Serengeti, when the sun arises, there's a gazelle that understands it must run faster than the fastest lion, or he would be eaten that day, he will surely die. And in the same Serengeti desert, there's a lion arises, and he understands that he must run faster than the fastest gazelle, or he will starve to death, and he too will die. The point of the story is when the sun rises, you best be running. And I learned here in Carolina, and I learned from my teammates on Sundays, when the sun rises, I best be running because I didn't want to fail my teammates. Thank you.